Something dramatic happened right now, my dear woman, especially after 50 years and older. There is something called thyroid problems that right now tens of millions of women all around the world suffering from those kind of conditions. And usually you take chemical medication that not solve your problem, and you will take those kind of medication for the rest of your life. And those kind of medications have unbelievably side effects, and you will experience them in maybe a couple of months, couple of years, that's for sure. Something is so wrong. What is really happening in your body? Your thyroid is one of the most important control centers in your body. It regulates metabolism, energy production, temperature, hormonal balance, and even brain functions. When the thyroid becomes imbalanced, everything begins to slow down and become unstable. And the most common condition today is hypothyroidism, often linked with Hashimoto thyroiditis, which affect the majority of people with thyroid disease. The problem is that symptoms are subtle in the beginning, and they develop slowly and often ignored or misinterpreted. By the time they become obvious, disease is already progressing, and this is in most cases, you don't recognize the early warning sign. You don't believe in nutrition, you don't believe in natural remedies, you don't believe in healthy way of living. Of course, you only believe in chemical medication when the time comes. And that's why it's unbelievably pandemic on every diseases in the modern world, especially thyroid problems, my dear woman. Why these conditions get worse? The thyroid does not fail suddenly. It gradually loses its ability to produce and regulate hormones due to a combination of the factors: nutrient deficiency, chronic stress, inflammation, and the poor lifestyle habits. And at the same time, modern treatment focuses on replacing hormones rather than restoring thyroid functions. And this may stabilize lab values, but it does not address the underlying cause. And over time, body becomes dependent on external hormones, with natural functions of the thyroid continues to decline. This is 1000% sure, my dear viewers. Those chemical medications that you take each day not heal your thyroid at all. And you need to take them for the rest of your life. Let me help you, my dear viewers. What are the symptoms of thyroid dysfunction? And the first signs of thyroid dysfunction is often subtle, but they are critical to recognize. First is going to be persistent fatigue and the lower energy. Even after a full night of sleep, you wake up feeling exhausted, heavy, and without motivation. And this is not normal tiredness, it is metabolic slowdown. And your body is not producing energy efficiently. Without affect every system, and this affect, of course, your entire body, from the muscles to the brain functions. And over time, this fatigue becomes constant and begins to interfere with your daily responsibilities, work, and overall quality of life. So it's going to be low energy, chronic fatigue. This is an early warning sign that you have thyroid problem. In most cases, it's going to be hypothyroidism. Of course, you will have the weight gain. This is something that a lot of you already know. If you have any kind of thyroid problems, you get a lot of weight in a short period of time, and this is one of the signs. And sudden weight gain, especially around abdomen, is one of the most common signs of slow thyroid. And you may be eating the same or even less than before, but the weight continues to increase. And on the other hand, unexpected weight loss can indicate overactive thyroid. Both situations reflect a disrupted in metabolic control, but your body is no longer regulate energy properly. So you have the chronic fatigue, you've been tired, you have the problem with your weight, and of course, next thing that is going to happen is going to be affect those hormonal disbalances on your head, especially on your nails. Yes, my dear woman, if you have thyroid problems, something is missing, and you can see it in your hair, in your nails. And your skin becomes rough, dry, and sometimes itchy, while hair starts thinning, breaking, or falling out more than usual. And nails become weak and brittle. These are clear signs that your body is not receiving or utilizing the nutrients and the hormones need to normal tissue regeneration. Then over time, those changes become more visible and harder to reverse. Something else, my dear viewers, if you feel a sensation that you already are feeling cold, especially in your legs, maybe in your arms, for the long period of time, and this kind of sensation continues for the months, maybe for the years, maybe it's the thyroid dysfunction, because thyroid is one most important thing for your temperature regulation. If those hormone does not work properly, your thyroid does not work properly, of course you're gonna have those kind of sensations. And you have sensitivity to cold or the heat, and your thyroid acts as thermostat for your body. But it's not functioning properly, you lose the ability to regulate temperature. And you may feel constant cold, especially in the heads and the feet, or in some cases unusually hot without clear reason. And this imbalance reflects the hormonal dysfunction that affects circulation and metabolic rate. And of course, one of those symptoms that you ignore completely in today's modern world, if your thyroid does not work properly, of course it's going to affect your brain. Of course, my dear viewers, and you will feel some kind of sensation or symptoms of anxiety, depression, or on any kind of mood swings. Anxiety, depression, mood swings can be directly correlated with your thyroid dysfunctions. And you never did heard about this. Also, hormonal and menstrual irregularities in women, thyroid imbalance often disrupts the reproductive system, and you may experience irregular cycles, heavy or prolonged menstruation, severe PMS, or even missed periods. Fertility can also be affected, and those changes are a direct result of hormonal imbalances and should never be ignored. And of course, all of those kind of symptoms you can put in, you can remove them almost totally in those early stages with nutrition, with natural remedies, with minerals and vitamins. And of course, you never do this, that's why all those symptoms are getting worse and worse and worse. And one also specific symptom is going to be hoarseness and the throat pressure. Because the thyroid is located in the neck, any enlargement or inflammation can create physical symptoms. And you may notice feeling of pressure, difficulty swallowing, or persistent hoarseness. And those are early warning signs that your gland itself may be affected structurally, not just functionally. The most important thing to understand is that those symptoms rarely appear all at once. They are developed gradually, one by one, and are often ignored or explained away. But together they form a clear picture. Your thyroid is struggling and your body is trying to warn you long before the serious disease develops.